Very good morning, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Management. Today, we are going to discuss the paper Strategic Business Management. In that, the fourth chapter, controlling. We are going to discuss the controlling. Hope all of you doing well and you are preparing very well for your examination. And today we are, as I told, today we are going to discuss about the strategic control. See, before jumping into the meaning of bookish meaning, we need to see what is the controlling in a day-to-day aspects. See, controlling is nothing but what in Kannada we call it as a niyantrana. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು you should have a control on that. Whatever you do, you should have a control. It may be driving, it may be doing preparing tea, it may be studies, it may be this, it may be that. Whatever you do, you should have a control. If you don't have any control over that, that will not leads to achieve your what it is exact destination or what you have been planned for that. So it may be a preparation of your examination. What is your aim? You want to score more than 85%, you want to score more than 90%, or it may be out of it. So for that you need to you should have a control. You should have a control what to do, how much to do, how much you are supposed to spend your time for the other activities, and how much you are supposed to spend time for your studies and all. In that way, control is very, very important in life also, in day-to-day life also. In the same way, in business, in strategic business management. Strategic means what? I have told you in the beginning. Strategies are the plans, how you are carrying out your businesses and how you are going to achieve your organization goals, isn't it? In the same way, strategic control is related to that aspect of strategic management through which an organization ensures whether it is achieving its objectives contemplated in the strategic actions. If not, what all corrective actions has to be taken are required for strategic effectiveness. This is all about your meaning. In the next, we will see what are the definitions. Julian and Sarifas have defined strategic control as follows. The first one is strategic control involves, as I told, it involves monitoring and evaluation. It involves monitoring and evaluation of plans, activities and results with a view towards future actions, providing warning signal through diagnosis of data and triggering appropriate interventions, be they either tactical adjustments or strategic orientation. Tactical adjustments, what they are telling here. See, when you are preparing a tea at home, you mix with your water, milk, sugar and tea powder. Once it starts boiling, whether it is boiling properly or not, you will check that one. Then whether it is the color is correct or not, that you will check. Then finally, not everyone, some people will check the taste also, whether it is tasting properly or in a good way or not. That we call it as a checking every now and then, diagnosing every now and then. Then if it is necessary, sugar is less, tea powder is less, then you can take a tactical adjustments or strategic reorientation. Thus, there are two aspects in the strategic control. One is evaluation of strategic action and its result and taking necessary corrective actions in the light of this evaluation. This controlling is nothing but what? A kind of evaluation. Everything is going properly or not, everything is running properly or not. It is a kind of supervision. It is a kind of supervision. Sometimes control phases of strategic management is divided into two distinct parts. One is strategic evaluation and strategic control. We are doing with strategic control. There are majorly four types of strategic controls. One is premise control, implementation control, strategic surveillance control and special alert control. First, we will see what is premise control. See, this premise control is nothing but what? On what basis? ಯಾವುದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು, ಯಾವ ವಾತಾವರಣದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇವಾಗ ಕರೋನಾ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೊರೋನಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಸಿ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ every strategy is founded on a certain assumptions. ಈಗ ಕರೋನಾ ಇದೆ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬೈಜೂಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್, ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ಕರೋನಾ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ it will affect their business. And the best example is now the war is going on, Ukraine and Russia. Because of that war, everything is like increasing the rates. It may be petrol, it may be diesel, or it may be any, even you might have like come across the cooking oil is also increased the price. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು, ರೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಈಗ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲು ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ರೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, ಇಸ್ಂಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದೇನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿಮೈಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಟು ಸರ್ವೈವ್, ಟು ಸಸ್ಟೈನ್, ಟು ಅಚೀವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೋಲ್. ದೆನ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ premise control. Every strategy is founded on certain assumptions relating to the environmental and organization force. Certainly some of these forces or factors are very sharp, and any changes in them is sure to affect the strategy to a grand extent. As I told, one is corona, one is Russia and Ukraine war. Hence premise control is a must to identify the key postulations and keep track of any change in them in order to assess their impact on strategy and therefore its implementation. As I given the examples is corona and the war. Here premise control serves to test continuously these assumptions to determine whether they are still valid or not. This facilitates the strategies to take necessary corrective actions at the right time than just pulling on the strategies. That means you whatever you are premise control ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ, ಅವಾಗ you will keep on checking whether whatever on the assumptions, whatever on the basis of assumptions, whatever we are prepared our strategies, whether they are applicable, whether running or properly or not. Every now and then the number of everything is going properly or not, that you check, and this facilitates the strategies to take a necessary and corrective actions at the right time, isn't it? This is all about your premise control. Next we will move towards the implementation control. This implementation control is nothing but, in ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣ. ನೀವೇನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಆವಾಗ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು make. In order to implement a chosen strategy, there is a need for preparing quite good number of plans, programs and projects. See, implement ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮು, ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ಲಾನು, ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ 1, ಪ್ಲಾನ್ 2, ಪ್ಲಾನ್ 3 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. See, one plan is it is not working, go for the second plan. If second plan is not going, check for the third plan. In that way, in order to implement a chosen strategy, there is a need for preparing a quite good number of plans, programs and projects. Again, resources are allocated for implementing these plans, programs and projects. The purpose of implementation control is to evaluate as to whether these plans, programs and projects are actually guiding the organization towards its predetermined goal or not. ನೀವೇನು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ವೆದರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅಚೀವ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ಡ್ ಗೋಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್, ದೇ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ it is felt at any time the commitment of resources to a plan, program or project is not yielding the fruits as expected, there is a need for matching revision or change in the projects. That is implementation control is nothing but rethinking of strategies, rethinking of planning to avoid the waste of all kinds, This implementation is nothing but what? Nothing but rethinking of strategies. I hope you are understanding this implementation control. The next one is strategic surveillance. If premises and implementation strategic control are more specific by nature, Strategic surveillance is more generalized and overriding control, which is designed to monitor a broad range of events, both inside and outside the organization, which are likely to threaten the very course of firm strategy. Such strategic surveillance can be done through a broad-based general monitoring based on a selected information sources to uncover events that are likely to affect the strategy of an organization. The next one is special alert control. This special alert control is based on a trigger mechanism for a rapid response and immediate reassessment of a given strategy in the light of a sudden and unexpected event. As I told, corona bantu, school ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಅವಾಗ ಸಡನ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು, ದೇ ಶಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು offline mode to online mode. A special alert control can be exercised via the formulation of contingency strategies and assigning the responsibilities of handling unforeseen events to crisis management teams. The instance of such sudden and unexpected events can be, say, sudden fall of government at the center or even at a state, a terrorist attack. War is going on, you have seen how the actions are taken care, and industrial disasters or any natural calamities of earthquake, floods, fire and so on. These are the special alert. Sudden change ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಏನು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, that is all we call it as a special alert control. Hope you have been understood what do you mean by the premise control, the implementation control, strategic surveillance and special alert control. These are the main 4 types of control. Now we will move towards the process of strategic control. In order to exercise control, manager have to take 4 steps. One is establishing the standards and methods for measuring the performance. Then measure the performance. Does performance match the standards? Yes. Do nothing. If it is not doing properly, if it is not giving proper your expectation, then take some corrective actions. What we studied now, controlling, take the corrective actions and reevaluate the standards. We will see one by one. First one is setting the performance standards, measuring the actual performance, analyzing variance and taking the corrective actions. The best example for this, ನೀವು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ ಒಂದು ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಒಂದು ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀರಿ, ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಟೇಲರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ನಂಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಚ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೇಲರ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರಿ ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟಿಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಿಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಯಿತೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅನಲೈಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಅನಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ವೇರಿಯನ್ಸ್. If it is not doing properly, is there any corrective actions has to be taken in that, then take the corrective actions. That's all. First one, every function in the organization begins with a plan which specify objectives or target to be achieved. In the light of this, standards are established, which are criteria against which actual results are measured. For setting standards for control purpose, it is very important to identify clearly and precisely the result which are desired. ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು, I want this dress for this function. You need to decide what you want, what is your desired result, what is your desired goal. Then precision in the statement of these standards is very, very important. Then measuring actual performance. Once you have decided and taken the action, you need to check whether your performance are matching your actual performance or not, your standards. The second major step in the control process is the measuring of performance. The step involves measuring the performance in respect of working in terms of control standards. The presence of standards implies a corresponding ability to observe and comprehend the nature of existing conditions and to ascertain the degree of control being achieved. The measurement of performance against standards should be on a continuous basis so that deviations may be detected in advance of their actual occurrence and avoided by appropriate actions. If you if you measure the actual performance, you will come to know whether it is doing well or not according to your performance. Then analyzing the variance. The third major step in control process is the comparison of actual and standard performance. ನೀವೇನು ಲೈಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಂತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅನಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ವೇರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ 2 steps. 1, finding out the extent of variations and identifying the cause of that variations. When adequate standards are developed and actual performance is measured accurately, any variations will be clearly revealed. ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ, ಆವಾಗ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಅಡಿಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದ ಕಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಚ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆಯಿತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ರೀಸನ್ ನೀವು ಹುಡುಕಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ವೆನ್ ಅಡಿಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್, ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಡಿಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ to reveal clearly what is the problem. When the standards are achieved, no further magical actions is necessary and control process is incomplete. Taking corrective actions. This is the last step in the control process, which requires that action should be taken to maintain the desired degree of control in the system of operation. An organization is not a self-regulating system, such as there must which operates in a state of equilibrium put there by engineering designs. In a business organization, this type of automatic control can be established because the state of affairs that exist in the results of so many factors in the total environment. Thus, some additional actions are required to maintain the control. Thank you.